5s. Kent State, Colorado, New Mexico, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Alabama, Mizzou, South Carolina, Auburn, Ole Miss, PV, and LSU. Yeah, you can call me Wikipedia or Google. I'm giving you the schedule because the narrative changes this week and moving forward. We start the Go Hour with Olin Buchanan, our Heisman Trophy voter. Good morning to you, OB.
Good morning. Feels like Christmas Eve.
It does. It does. For a lot of reasons. So we all expect this to be a very fun season. And last year was great, the best we've seen in a long time. But last year, I don't know if the expectations were where they are today. They were high because Jimbo brings that kind of swag, if you will. There was a belief. But I think last year we were kind of seeing it unfold and thinking, maybe. And we got closer to November, and Billy was telling everybody they might get into the college football playoffs. Ultimately, we know how that turned out. They didn't get in. But now the expectation is we're getting in. And it's and for all the naysayers out there, it is the opportunity for Texas A&M to change the narrative of a school that is a pretender to a school that is beyond a contender, a winner.
It's funny. This time last year, the big question marks coming into the season were offensive line and quarterback.
Is that right?
Right, because remember the offensive line had not been that effective the year before, and Kellen's always was kind of up and down, and so that was the two big questions. If we come into this year with the two big questions are offensive line and quarterback, and I think if those questions are answered in the similar fashion as they were last year, then I think A&M will have a great chance to get into the playoff.
And look, I'm not putting the entire season on the Alabama game. That's still a ways away. I am saying, though, that's where the narrative nationally starts to change. And if you lose 38-35, I think the narrative starts to change. If you beat them, obviously it better change unless people start finding, well, this is not the same Alabama team. Well, sorry, we're not the same A&M team either.
Well, yeah, it'll be hard to say that because, Alabama's going to be good. A bad Alabama team only wins 10 games these days, just how it is. So I don't think there's going to be a change of the narrative other than if A&M was to win that game, other than, look out, Fisher's done it.
But you have to win that game and more.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, if you lose to Arkansas.
Right.
I thought last year the line I had was that, and it wasn't like, it's not amazing insight, it's average eyesight. A&M was good enough to beat anybody, save Alabama, and not good enough to take any game for granted. And I think it's going to be kind of about the same thing. You can take a few games for granted. I mean, I would bet the house, say, against Kent State, New Mexico, and Prairie View. But the other games, I don't think you take anything for granted.
Nope.
But you're good enough if you go out and don't trip over your own feet. You're good enough to go out and win every game on your schedule.
And I think you're good enough to win every game on your schedule convincingly outside the Alabama game. And I'm not saying that they can't beat Alabama convincingly. My point is we should go into Jerry's world and expect to beat a very good, I think a better Arkansas team.
I agree. I think you should expect to win every game with the exception of the Alabama game. And I don't think you go in there, at least as a fan, thinking you have no chance. In fact, I think you go in there closer to even footing than ever, including the year you beat them. So, it's out there. There's a great opportunity this year. You've got NFL caliber players peppered throughout that lineup. You've got great coaches coaching them. So, I mean, that's the recipe. It's like, you put a great jockey on a great horse, you're probably going to win some races.
So I'm going to start my college football playoff politicking now and let the world know that Minnesota is last year's Vanderbilt. Sorry, Ohio State. That wasn't a convincing victory. Convincing second half. But if the Minnesota running, I don't know if you watched the game.
I did. Abraham.
If he doesn't get hurt, I don't know if he was dominating that game. What do you have, like 150 yards, 100, whatever it was, and he got hurt midway through the third quarter. I have the notes here. he had all right, I don't have him. Regardless, he was dominating them.
163 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's not bad. And that was through the third quarter, midway through the third quarter, early third. They dominated the time of possession. Ohio State played great in the second half. C.J. Stroud had a very rough first half, turned it around. You give them props for that. But if we're going to use Vanderbilt against Texas A&M last year, a game that they should have convincingly won and blah, 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 sorry, Minnesota is Vanderbilt this year for Ohio State, at least to start.
I was really kind of frustrated at the Minnesota quarterback that never kept it on the zone read.
Right.
I'm like, what? I get it. It's a good idea to give the ball to Abraham, right? I get it. But when the entire defense is converging on him, just once, keep it and go the other way. But and I thought the kid, Dalen Wright, who transferred from A&M, he looked good for him. So that made me feel good, because if he felt like he couldn't play at A&M and he goes out and plays like that against Ohio State, then you're thinking, okay, these A&M receiving core must be pretty good.
Yeah, it's so I just, again, if style points matter, and I think Minnesota, it's not I don't watch Big Ten football very much, but I don't expect them to be terrible, and they're known for a pretty good defense. But I'm just saying, when we're tallying it all up and there's games that were close and this and that should have been close, that better count against, not that Minnesota's Vanderbilt, by the way. They're really not historically, but they're not.
They're Mississippi State.
There we go. So, by the way, if you want to call the show, you can certainly do that at 979-693-1150, the BCSI hotline. I was actually with Dr. K yesterday. Did the whole eye exam, 20/15 vision. I thought that was a negative. Apparently, it's
the
better.
lower it is, the better it is.
Yeah, so I was surprised by that. So
you should play baseball.
He was like, "You're in your 40s, your eyes aren't." He goes, "But soon it's gonna happen. You're gonna need reading glasses." But I'm not there just yet.
Don't I know it?
So thanks to Dr. K. He was great yesterday. Check out mybcsi.com. You no longer have to drive to Houston or Dallas or Austin for major eye surgery such as glaucoma or cataract issues. Let Dr. K take care of you. And also, if you want to text the show, we do have a topic, 979-693-1150, the A&B text line. This one, I'll throw it out there because I have not been able to have an Aggie game day experience in such a long time. I'm curious what people do. Do people, like, if you're coming to town, do you wake up, have some coffee, and fight that traffic early on? If you are here, do you do all the tailgates? Do you come by the TexAgs tailgate? What is your game day routine? Do you do certain things at your home? Do you have your kids dress up in Aggie gear? I'm just curious by it. What are your game day routines for Aggie football? Where will you be watching? OB, I kind of want to go through yours because you're working, but you're all over town. You've got a lot of stuff going on, so we'll talk about that here in a moment. And I don't even know what my routine's going to be. Typically, I'm rushing to another event, and this year I'll be all about Aggie football. On Saturdays, we go to the Fish Bowl where Dalton is. Good morning to you, Mr. Hughes.
Morning. Happy Friday. It was nice to have football on the television last night.
How many games did you watch?
3 if you count U.S. Soccer down in El Salvador. Kind of wish I'd have been in El Salvador with OB last night visiting the Palomos.
Yeah, so I got a tweet from Guayo just this morning. So what happened in that game? U.S. ties them, but was it like, were they losing or something?
No. It was a 0-0 game, but very CONCACAF-y, if you will.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, by the way, nice shave, buddy. Looking good. Looking good for game day. Silence. Good. Thanks for responding, Dalton. No, really, thanks. Let's now go to the News and Social Center. Tomas Romo with us. Good morning, Tomas. Doing well, my friend. Is your mic on? Okay. Well, let's keep it going. What's going on in your world?
Well, first off, women's soccer is set to host the Sam Houston Bearcats tonight at Ellis Field. The Aggies look to extend an 11-game home winning streak, and the game will be aired live on SEC Network.
All right. Looking forward to that.
Secondly, Texas A&M to face TCU at the Battleground 2K21. Texas A&M's men's basketball will renew its rivalry with the Horned Frogs on December 11th at the Toyota Center. The two teams have squared off 165 times, A&M holding the 88-77 advantage.
There was a time, and you've probably gone to it, to Toyota Center. They would host A&M often, I think many times against Texas. Am I right about that?
Well, I saw them play Oklahoma. A couple of years ago, and I saw them play Arizona.
Okay.
And the Arizona game, A&M was way down and came back and almost pulled it out. Now, the Oklahoma game, I remember A&M made its first 3-point attempt and its last 3-point attempt and missed like 19 in between.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's one of those years.
Wow. Anything else, Tomas?
I got one more for you. Texas A&M women's volleyball team hands Cal Poly its first home loss since 2016. The Aggies powered past Cal Poly on Wednesday night, beating them in 5 sets, snapping a 32-game home winning streak, which was the longest active home winning streak in NCAA Division I volleyball.
I had no idea that Cal Poly was so good at home in volleyball.
I didn't either. I just always assumed those West Coast teams are good in volleyball.
Yep. Yeah. I wonder why. Huh. All right, guys. We're going to get into a lot of topics here. OB had a column yesterday, breaking it all down, getting us ready for this weekend.
I got to ask you something about that column. So you read it?
Yeah.
Did you have any idea who the guy was?
It's Caddyshack.
So you know Caddyshack?
Well, 2 things. Yesterday, you told me who it was.
Oh, okay.
On the air. Okay. And B, yes, I've seen Caddyshack. Okay. I just didn't remember the people's names.
Okay.
And so are there movies that you've watched and people will tell you something about it and you're like, and then when they explain it, you're like, oh, yeah, I get that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys that the classic movies,
okay.
Like I consider Caddyshack
a classic,
by the way. I'm one of those who retain.
You got good retention with that.
For those.
Okay.
Now, there's other things that I should know that I have no idea about.
Kaiser Soze.
Usual Suspects.
Look at you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kevin Spacey.
Thoughts and prayers. He isn't around anymore. I know that show was really good. The one on Netflix. I used to watch.
House of Cards.
Yeah, that was good.
I never watched it. Not even once.
It was good the first couple of seasons. Then it kind of flew the coop.
But I know
Caddyshack is your kind of movie.
Yeah.
Is it in your top 5?
Comedies it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I laughed till I cried, literally. Of course, I was 18 when I saw it.
We got a lot of football to get into, but I'm curious. If you were to pick your top 5 movies or top 3 movies, and you had to watch them all the time, what would they be?
Okay, Godfather.
Yep, that's in there for me. 1 or 2, or all of them.
It's not 3.
I didn't hate 3, but I didn't love it either.
I don't know if 2 is in my top 5. I mean, it'd be probably my top 20, definitely.
Okay.
So definitely Godfather.
Yep.
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
And Patton. Love the movie Patton.
Okay.
Love that movie.
You got some classics.
I'll give that one an edge over Braveheart. I really like Braveheart too.
All right, I'm going to give you mine.
All right.
Godfather for sure. The Dark Knight. I love superheroes.
Yeah, you do.
And probably Scarface, a little Tony Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little Tony Montana.
I can see.
You can see that.
The Cuban angle.
The Cuban temper that we have. All right, when we come back.
Oh, you got a temper.
I can't.
So I got to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, if you read the message boards, apparently I've got a big temper. So good. I'm glad. All right, guys. When we come back, I want to ask OB a question. Can we learn from C.J. Stroud's game and apply it to Haynes King? Because he was able to turn it around, but at some point, Haynes is going to see a little bit of issues if that's against Kent State or beyond. But can we learn from that? We'll take your phone calls and your text messages next on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Find out the latest contests, promotions, and events for 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Log on to thezone1150.com.
AggielandBigDeals.com. Shop local, buy local, save big. I'm struggling, can't pay full price. How about Aggieland Big Deals? Yeah, that's right. I'll be shopping local and saving big with discounts up to 30% on food, clothes, and car repair, or even entertainment and personal care. Is it really gonna be convenient though? Just download the app right on your phone. Oh man, that's slick. Now I'm all in. Those digital certificates are fun to spend. Plus I can print and send gifts along at AggielandBigDeals.com.
Maroon U is your ultimate stop for brand name apparel, gifts, and accessories for the entire family. From Columbia, 47 brand, Yeti, Dooney & Burke, and Adidas. We're able to outfit you for every occasion. Visit Maroon U and our family of companies on Holloman Drive in College Station to shop the latest in brand name Aggie merchandise. Shop Maroon U today. Voted best in Nebraska's best gift shop since 2016. Maroon never looked so good with Maroon U.
Howdy, y'all. This is Cullen Gillespie, former 12th man. I've always tried to help my team on and off the field, and now I'd like to help Texas A&M fans like you cut their electricity bills in half. Yep, in half. It takes less than 5 minutes and you'll save hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars every year. 90% of Texans overpay for electricity, So don't be one of them. Sign up today at energyogre.com and use code GILLY, G-I-L-L-Y, for a free month of service.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and our Aggie broadcast sponsors, Schulte Roofing, Prosperity Bank, Hargrove Insurance, and Rudy's Barbecue. Here's a big gig-em to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
The Bellucci Hour is back. It is back at the tap every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. thanks to King Ranch Saddle Shop. Join Billy Liucci of TexAgs, TexAgs.com, TexAgs Radio, and the Liucci Cast, along with Zach Taylor, the Infomaniac, and Sports Director Brian Broadcasting. Monday, Thursday, 6 p.m. It's the Bellucci Hour, happy hour, and it's all thanks to King Ranch Saddle Shop. Let the Bellucci Hour get you ready for Aggie football 2021.
The best is yet to come in College Station.
Chase Lane is in for a touchdown. Yes.
Head coach Jimbo Fisher and the Aggies are ready to rise to the top of the SEC.
Swing to Anias. He's in the end zone. A 6-yard reception.
Join us Saturday. The Kent State Golden Flashes visit College Station. Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Aggies football.
Listen to Aggie football on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Online at radioaggieland.com or tell your smart speaker to play Zone 1150.
Play like you've practiced. You play like the habits you want to have. And every game, you got 12 times you're allowed to play. The statement is that we're ready to play and we're going to play. It's not that it's Kent State, it's that it's Alabama, it's not that it's Georgia, it's not that it's LSU, it's not that it's Colorado the next week. Each opponent has its own purpose and scheme you have to play against, and you have to understand how to do that each and every week you come to compete and play. And the statement is that we want to play well.
We want to play, and we want to play well. Jimbo Fisher earlier this week getting ready for the Kent State game. It is TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. I expect them to play well. I do not expect a Vanderbilt type of outing. I expect this to be a great start for the Aggies, and I think early on, I think this is going to be a great start from the beginning of the game. The focus that I've seen from that team at practice and during these press conferences, to me, looks like a team that knows what's ahead.
I agree. You got almost everybody back almost from a team that won 9 games last year, won 90%. It's a team that's not trying to figure out who it is. It's a team that knows. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's experienced, that has some growth to do, because they, obviously in the line and at quarterback, but a team coming in knowing how good it is, or how good it can be. And I do think they're focused, and I do think they're playing an overmatched opponent. So I do think that they're going to win handily.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, that'll actually get us to what we're supposed to do. I've never done this with you, obviously. Gabe used to do it, but it's now time for the Sleeper of the Week, presented by the Sleep Station. We'll do it with Billy and the guys later on, Steve and Seth. But right now, go see Jared McLeod and ask about the Tempur-Pedic mattress in the Specs parking lot at Texas and Harvey in front of the Lowe's at William D. Fitch and Highway 6. The website is thesleepstation.com. All right, OB, pick 6 time. Number 1 for you. Kent State. At number 6, Texas A&M, 7 o'clock at Kyle Field. ESPN, and A&M is favored by 28.5.
Yeah, I'll take A&M and give the points. I could see this. My scores on this is going to be something like 48-14. I think Kent State will be able to score once or twice, but I just really don't see them stopping A&M.
Okay. Number 2, number 5, Georgia versus number 3, Clemson. You got 6:30 at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. ABC game. Clemson is favored by 3.5.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That is a tough game.
What am I doing
to call?
Thank you, Dalton, for reminding me. I'm doing the Sleeper of the Week. I read the Sleeper of the Week, but we're supposed to be doing the picks. I apologize, but we'll continue with our picks.
Give me a coin. I'll flip it. I think I'm going to take Clemson and give the points just because the injury to Pickens, and I just don't know what the receivers are like. I think Georgia has some other injury issues, so they're not 100%, but I don't feel good about it. The smart pick is probably taking the team and whichever team gets points. Georgia, that's probably the smart pick. But my history of picks, nothing would indicate they're smart.
All right, number 3. We've got number 1 Alabama versus number 14 Miami, 2:30 in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That game also on ABC. Bama is favored by 19.5.
I would take Alabama all day long.
Yeah,
and twice on Saturday. I don't.
You're taking the points?
Oh yeah, I don't. No. I'm giving the points.
You're giving the points.
I just don't believe in Miami.
Yep. I believe in De'Aaron King, but coming back from an ACL injury, like he's coming back from, against Alabama, and Miami hasn't been Miami in forever. I mean, they've had a couple moments, and I saw this stat. It looks like Alabama's 15-1 in Atlanta, and I can't remember the last time they lost an opening game. Maybe ever with Nick Saban.
Maybe. I can't remember. Of course, you have to really think hard. Remember when they've lost a non-conference game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll definitely take Alabama.
All right, the 4th one is number 16 LSU at UCLA, a 7:30 start at the Rose Bowl. That game is on Fox. LSU favored by 3.5.
Yeah, I'll take LSU. And again, I'll give the points on that one. I know UCLA had a big win, but it was Hawaii. It doesn't matter. It's LSU will have better second string than Hawaii.
Yep. Number 5 of our 6, number 23, Louisiana Lafayette at number 21, Texas, 3:30, DKR, Memorial Stadium, Fox in Texas, favored by 9.5.
Yeah, I'll take Louisiana Lafayette and the points. You're going to give me almost 10 points. I don't know how good Texas is going to be. Hell, I don't know how good Louisiana Lafayette's going to be, but they're supposed to be good.
Yep.
But, I mean, just in a game that with that much uncertainty, you're going to give me almost 10 points. Okay, I'll take those.
All right, the last one for you. Number 19, Penn State versus number 12, Wisconsin, 11 a.m. at Camp Randall. The game's on Fox. Wisconsin favored by 5.5.
Yeah, I'll take the points because I don't know enough about either team. I know Penn State was kind of a disappointment last year, but they had a lot of guys that didn't play. So I'll just take them and go ahead and give me some points.
Yep, okay. There it is. We'll do, by the way, with Liucci and the guys in the after party when we do our Pick 6 a little bit later. So looking forward to doing that as well here on the program. And if you want to call in and give us your thoughts, you can, 979-693-1150 on the BCSI hotline, or you can text the A&B text line, same number, 979-693-1150. OB, let's get into your column out there, SEC Roundup. Undeterred by pundits, Fisher and A&M remain future focused. You did use the Caddyshack analogy. And I totally feel that when you explained it and when I read it, because you're exactly right. You're walking into the party and people are like, why are you here? Like, this is not for you. Why are you in the VIP room, in the champagne room? You shouldn't be here.
Shouldn't be in the country club.
There you go.
Because I've never been in the champagne room.
Neither have I, by the way. Not making it rain.
But I've been in a country club because I've sneaked in. Al, the Rodney Dangerfield character, yeah, he was the guy that was loud. He was having a good time. They didn't, the stodgy.
I'm sure that hat looks good on you, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Get that with a bowl of soup. He's loud. He's having a good time. He's enjoying himself. And he irritates the elite.
Right.
But you know what? He has more money than they do. So what can you do about it? And he doesn't care. And so that's Texas A&M as they're on the verge of membership in the elite, among the elite. If they're not already there, they're on the verge. And the blue bloods in the national media, the stodgy elitists, they don't like it.
So let me ask you this. What is considered, in your opinion, of college football a blue blood? Because to me, A&M has always been a blue blood. Maybe they don't have the national championships to say, but they have been always a historically very good college football program. Always.
See, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Because I think A&M has had pockets of success, but since 1939, the years after that, I think they've been more mediocre than good.
Okay, but let's take most of my lifetime.
Well, they have most of your lifetime.
They've been to me, every year, not every year, obviously. They've had some really bad years. I recognize that. But over 45 years of my life, I believe they've been more ranked than they haven't. They have had moments of greatness. Now, are they like who to you? Who are the Blue Bloods?
Well, the Blue Bloods are Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson became one, but wasn't.
So you can become one. Okay.
I think Ohio.
Is Texas a Blue Blood?
Texas is wants to be a Blue Blood. I think the national media looks at them because of their success in the 60s, and then they kind of rejuvenated it with Mac Brown. But for the most part, if you look at it, their history isn't as blue bloodish as you'd expect. You know, they weren't that good under John Malkovich. They weren't, you know, they had their years under Fred Akers where they were pretty good early, but they were pretty mediocre. But I think the nationally, Michigan, Texas are looked as blue blood. But, you know, let's face it, they've been hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
For quite a while.
So when
I think you should lose your blue blood status if you haven't been good for a while. And quite frankly, you know, if you're going to base on history, then Minnesota should be a blue blood,
right?
Because they have a history. Depending on how far you want to go back, Army should be a blue blood, right? Depending on your history. I think Notre Dame's a blue blood, even though their history's better. Their recent history is better, even though I do think they get propped up by the national media and overrated a lot.
So in the last 40 years, okay,
40 years, Oklahoma.
In the last 40 years, would you say A&M has been one of the teams in that conversation? Maybe not blue blood, but one of the better programs in the last 40 years. If you were to take all the D1 programs, they would be in your top 20?
Maybe. Because, see, I think people are forgetting the Tom Wilson years, the Francione years, the Mike Sherman. Kevin Sumlin started fast, but then the rest of his career of tenure was very mediocre. I mean, when you haven't won a conference championship since 98 and you've finished in the top 5 one time in that 40-year period, twice. Let me take that back. Twice in that 20-year period. You know, it's hard to make a strong case that you've been one of the better programs. Now, my answer to that, because I get that from those Texas fans that for whatever reason want to DM me and things like that, is say, yeah, you have a better history.
Right.
A&M's looking to the future. You know, if you want to keep looking in your rearview mirror, go ahead. But A&M's looking to the future. A&M doesn't live in the past. That's why Jimbo Fisher just got a big raise, an extension, because A&M's looking for the future.
See, I think that's why maybe the Aggie in me gets annoyed, because when I hear, and not with you, by the way, when I hear the way people look at Texas A&M, it's almost like Texas Tech. Like when I hear others try to downplay what A&M's success has been over my lifetime, because I think a lot of it goes back to my youth, right? In the 80s, A&M was the dominant program in the Southwest Conference.
Absolutely.
And that's what I hold on to. Now, don't get me wrong. I 100% see your point about some of those lean years and how Francione was and some of the last few years of Sumlin's regime. But I hold on to more of the good than the bad, and then I compare it to Texas Tech that's had a couple blips on the right. It's a different level of success at Texas A&M than some of the other schools that have had a moment or two.
I think Texas A&M has had more success than Texas Tech. I think that's fair to say.
Absolutely.
I don't think it is like A&M is 7 feet tall and Texas Tech is 6'2". You know, I think it's a lot closer than that. I remember when Texas Tech beat A&M, seems like 7 or 8 years in a row. It probably wasn't that many. And they did get up to number 1 in the nation one time. But over the period of time, yes, A&M has been a more successful program, and Texas Tech has fallen off the rails.
Yeah.
And I don't see them getting back on. Maybe they're going to dominate whatever conference the Big 12 is going to be. You know, maybe it's going to be between Texas Tech and Oklahoma State every year. But I just think when you talk about the elite programs, A&M has not been elite, but A&M is becoming elite.
Okay. I think that's fair. When we come back, I want to get more into your column, because you talked a lot about the kind of game Isaiah Spiller could have. And I agree with you, by the way. So we want to get into that and some of your text messages and your phone calls here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Right now, though, I want to talk about my friends at the Association of Former Students. You know about the game day activities, guys. It's this weekend. It's coming up, and you want to be out there. The Clayton Williams Jr. Alumni Center open from 10 a.m. And 9 a.m. for 11 a.m. kickoffs, by the way. Each game day will have seating available in front of the Huddleston video wall for game watching. It's going to be fun out there. And Aggie Park, as you know, they began construction earlier in the month with completion expected sometime in the summer of 2022. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be the new ring day is going to be there in 2023. It's just going to be great. Check it out as they are expanding and doing great stuff. And they're able to do that because of the support you guys are giving them. And we all support them because of what they've been doing for everybody around campus here for over 140 years. The association is here, there, and everywhere. $100 a month, or $100 a year, $9 a month. You get the decal, the plaque, the Texas Aggie magazine. To learn more about the impact of the association or get involved, make a gift, visit aggienetwork.com/giving.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. BCS Habitat for Humanity announces its Financial Literacy Workshop Series Thursday evenings this month. Find a schedule of topics and more information at habitatbcs.org. The 38th Annual National Night Out is Tuesday, October 5th. Neighbors are asked to turn on their French port lights and spend the evening outside with neighbors and law enforcement. Contact your local police station to host a block party. The Sexual Assault Resource Center invites you to their primary fundraising event, the Evening Under the Stars Gala, Saturday, October 8th at Brownstone Reserve. Purchase tickets online at sarcbv.org. For more information about becoming a Master Gardener, visit brazosmg.com. 30 minutes after the clock hits 0 at Kyle Field on Saturday, join Dusty and Louie for the Zone Call-In Show, powered by TexAgs. Call in at 979-693-1150 with your questions, comments, or opinions after every A&M home game. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
If you have a debit card, you're used to spending money. But what if your card actually ended up earning you money? That's not exactly normal, but that's what you can get at A&B. It's called Kasasa Cashback Checking. Don't mind the weird name. What you need to know is that it's a free account with cash rewards. Use your debit card for everyday purchases, and we'll pay you cash back every month. If that doesn't sound like normal banking, well, guess what? We're not a normal bank. So contact A&B today and ask for Kasasa or visit ANB.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
It's not every day you can save money. Oh, wait, you can. Hi, Jenny here from Big Deals. When you shop Big Deals, you'll save money every day on dozens of gift certificates from local businesses like these.
Lena Salon, baked or fried, Socorro's Second Chance Resale Shop, and Specialties Photography. Visit AggielandBigDeals.com to save big. AggielandBigDeals.com. Hello, St. Joseph Eagles fans. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football throughout the season on KEDC 88.5 FM. St. Joseph Eagles football is brought to you this season by these local businesses: Jason Bainski Realtor, Lone Star Roof Systems, Law Office of Jeff Paradowski, Kraus Paint and Body, Wings and More, Blinn College, and Serve Pro of the Brazos Valley. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football on KEDC 88.5 FM. Special thanks to all of our St. Joseph Eagle football sponsors. On Sports Talk, Chip tells Kirk Herbstreit he would volunteer to be the commissioner of college football.
I could be the college football czar. I would be tough but fair.
I love it. Let's do it. You know, as long as it's one voice, sounds like talking to you. You'd be a great candidate.
Sports Talk, leading the way since 1994. Weekdays from 4 to 6 on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
It's going to be exciting. Since I was a recruit, I remember coming here and didn't know what school I was going to pick. But then when I see the 100,000 roaring, you know, just like a game like Kent State, not to be disrespectful at all, but a game like Kent State, you see that and you're like, wow, like these fans are passionate. They love the school. They love everything about it. And then playing that night at A&M is like, I don't know. It's chills, man. So I'm super excited to get back out there with the 100,000 fans at the 12th man.
Leon O'Neal, love that smile and the way he plays his position. It's going to be fun to see what he does out there. It's TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. OB, I've got some messages to get into. I'm on the YouTube page, and they're asking me. I'll start off with you. Benny's asking, what up, Nuño? What's the go-to tailgate food for you? OB, what are you into?
Oh gosh, anything really. But I love, I love barbecue.
Yep.
Wings. I even like good hot dog.
Yeah, I don't do hot dogs.
Okay.
Haven't done a hot dog since 1984.
I don't eat a lot of hot dogs, but if there's to me, a hot dog has to be the atmosphere has to factor into the hot dog. Like if I'm at a ball game, I'll eat a hot dog.
Right.
But
at home,
we'll eat bratwurst.
Okay. So at a tailgate, I love barbecue, no doubt, and I like a lot of times at Texans tailgates, I would do my morning hits from the Texans games, and people would offer me food, and whatever they would offer, I would definitely take because I love good food. But there was a lot of Tex-Mex out there, fajitas and some tortillas. I love that. One of my favorite things in the world to eat is buffalo wings. I love buffalo wings. Absolutely. It can be grilled. It can have the sauce. I don't care. I like buffalo wings.
Had some LSU fans offer me some gumbo once.
How was that?
It was outstanding.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They were nice?
Yeah, they were nice.
Yeah.
LSU fans are great until they get into the stadium. I mean, they want to party with you. But then you get into the stadium and they become, this, I don't know what, I don't want to say they go from Bruce Banner to the Hulk. I did that for you, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you.
But because, I don't know, the Hulk is actually somewhat likable, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so they don't become likable.
So they're more like, let me try to think. What would be a good comparison? Somebody will text in on the MB text line and come up with a good comparison. Somebody who becomes unlikable.
Right, unlikable once. Yeah.
Yeah. Dalton, you got somebody we can use as a comparison there?
That's likable, but then becomes unlikable.
Richard.
Okay.
Not really a super villain.
There's somebody out there.
Is.
No.
The Catwoman?
She's likable.
Yeah, she's likable.
I
actually kind of like her as the Catwoman, though.
Yeah, you like her?
Yeah.
Well, her and Bruce have a history.
That's the least surprising thing I've heard this morning, Olin Buchanan.
All right, as we move on.
I know Mrs. Buchanan's listening, too.
Hello.
So go get that cat suit.
Hi, Irma. Sorry about that. All right, so in the column, you put keep an eye on Isaiah Spiller.
Yep.
Let's break that down because Kent State really not known for stopping the running game.
No, they were one of the worst run defenses in the country last year, and that's in 4 games against all MAC competition. Right. So it was the guy from Buffalo, Jarrett Patterson, who was one of the better running backs in the country statistically, and he ran for 409 yards and a record 8 touchdowns against them last year.
I don't think you have the numbers in front of you. How many times did they just rush him the entire game?
I don't have the numbers in front of me.
But 409, you can't do that on 10 carries.
No.
You got the ball a lot.
But anyway, he had that kind of game.
Right.
And I'm not saying that Isaiah is going to have that kind of game, but I do believe that he's in for a big game. I mean, Isaiah's personal record was against UTSA, and it was probably about 270, maybe not even that much. So I think he has if they give him the ball, I think he has a shot at it. And the A&M record's 297.
Yeah, he's and I'm speaking for you, but I believe you could bank on him later. But the fact that he is going to get the ball, I'm excited to see
36 carries, by the way.
That's not that many for that many yards.
Well,
Goodness gracious.
Average 11 yards a carry.
I think Isaiah can do that.
I guarantee you he's going to, even with the new guys, he's going to have a better offensive line blocking for him than Buffalo had.
At 100%.
So
now, maybe those guys have gotten a little better. Maybe they picked up a guy or two.
And they have.
Yes.
They have.
So it's – but let's just say you would not be surprised if he rushes for more than 180 yards.
I would not. I might be surprised if he rushes for 180 yards in the disappointed way.
Right. But again, it's going to depend how many carries he gets and how big the lead is. If there's a huge lead there in the first half, and I'm assuming A-Chain's going to get a lot more looks to start the season than he has in years past.
I would assume. So it's all about a volume of carries. But if he gets a reasonable number, I think he's going to have a big game.
So what is a reasonable number you think for A-Chain? 12?
Oh, for A-Chain?
Yeah.
Okay, 10.
10, 12, yeah, 10, isn't that right? And then for Spiller?
Reasonable number in this 15.
Okay.
In this game, 15 is a reasonable number.
15. I'm gonna hope it's a little bit more.
I am too.
18, 20 in that range would be nice.
You know,
coming up with the weird numbers.
It's Spiller time.
It is Spiller time. Let's go. And by the way, we got a text message there from Tim in College Station. You probably don't know this comparison. Maybe you will.
Okay.
I'll be surprised. Have you watched The Avengers?
I know some of the Avengers.
Okay. He says LSU is Loki.
Oh yeah, that's the brother of Thor.
Yeah. So like, there's times you really like the guy. This guy's cool, and then he just does and tries to kill his brother.
Well, okay. There's Loki State University.
Loki State. It fits perfectly, Tim. Thank you for that. And the other one that came in is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for LSU. I could see that.
Yeah.
I can absolutely see that. So we got some other ones to get into, but I'll allow Tomas to do that before we continue here on the program. But finishing up with Isaiah Spiller, expect anywhere between 15 and 20 carries, and you think 180 yards or below would be disappointing. So maybe teetering on it. What's the school record? You put that in your
297.
Piece. 297.
Set by Bob Smith in 1950 against SMU.
Okay.
More information than you needed.
No, but I like it. All right, guys. Time to talk about my friends at Milliken Reserve. They are farm-to-table community in College Station featuring homes, trails, farms, and wide-open spaces. Their mission is to build a healthy community around nature. It's so nice out there. Every time I go, I just drove by the other day and picked up some veggies from their farm. They have a great farm there that picks out the veggies for you. You can get it weekly. It's great. My wife signed up for it. We're loving it. But they connect families to nature and to each other. They got a network of trails throughout the wooded landscape, walks, equestrian paths, creeks, ponds, gatherings out there. And they're committed to maintaining and restoring that natural habitat out there. Go hiking, biking, canoeing, kayaking, equestrian trails, evening yoga, summer camps, music festivals, and you can all be a part of it by becoming a member of the Conservancy. Go check that out, the annual Pumpkin Palooza, October 16th through 17th. Learn more online at millikenreserve.com.
ESPN Radio. ESPN. Weeknights and weekends here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
Maroon U is your ultimate stop for brand name apparel, gifts, and accessories for the entire family. From Columbia, 47 brand, Yeti, Dooney & Burke, and Adidas. We're able to outfit you for every occasion. Visit Maroon U and our family of companies on Holloman Drive in College Station to shop the latest in brand name Aggie merchandise. Shop Maroon U today. Voted best in the Brazos best gift shop since 2016. Maroon never looked so good with Maroon U.
Everyone in the Brazos Valley has a unique story to tell. It's a community made up of survivors.
He's going to have a full recovery. He's got such a good attitude about everything.
Hard workers.
Everyone kind of had to pivot and look to see how things were going to change.
Visionaries.
That really drives that economic engine for growth within the Brazos Valley.
And just good people.
There are inspiring stories everywhere you look, and your local news team is dedicated to bring you more on KRHD News, connecting the Brazos Valley.
VeraBank is open and we are excited to serve you in College Station. Hi, this is Erica Archer, Treasury Management Officer at VeraBank, and I specialize in helping businesses run their day-to-day operations more efficiently, saving you valuable time. Our team's job is to make yours easier. So give us a call or come by and see us off of Highway 6. At VeraBank, you have a team of genuine bankers on your side, and you can bank on it.
Visit verabank.com today. That's VERA bank.com. VeraBank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Howdy, y'all. This is Cullen Gillespie, former 12th man. I've always tried to help my team on and off the field, and now I'd like to help Texas A&M fans like you cut their electricity bills in half. Yep, in half. It takes less than 5 minutes, and you'll save hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars every year. 90% of Texans overpay for electricity, so don't be one of them. Sign up today at energyogre.com and use code GILLY, G-I-L-L-Y, for a free month of service.
Bryan Broadcasting is your home for high school football. Bryan High, A&M Consolidated, Rudder, and College Station High play on the Bryan Broadcasting family of stations. No matter where you are, hear every play, every game, all season long, thanks to Frost Bank, Ed Phillips Plumbing, Rapid Express Car Wash, and ASAP Equipment. To find out when and where to hear your favorite team, go to
Listening to The Zone on your Amazon Dot or Echo is easy. Even Louie figured it out. 2 simple steps, and you could hear Chip Howard Sports Talk, TexAgs Radio, The Louie Bellina Show, and many of your favorite A&M teams anytime, anywhere with your special friend, Alexa. Step 1, and only one time, say, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill. Then anytime you want to hear your favorite host or teams, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play Zone 1150. Make sure to set it all up and say, Alexa, enable Zone 1150 skill, and listen in anytime just by saying, Alexa, play Zone 1150.
Oh, I feel like this is going to be amazing. Like, last year we didn't have full capacity, so this year everybody's coming back. I believe the 12th man is going to be unbelievable and just extremely loud.
Bring it, Marv. He's just a cool kid to me. Just see him. He's very relaxed, got the hat backwards all the time. Every time I've met him, with the sunglasses at SEC Media Days, just a very relaxed, cool guy.
Yeah. I think everybody should put DE in front of their name.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, I'm going to call my son DeQuinn. I'm going to call my wife DeIrma.
DeIrma. So, by the way, this is TexAgs Radio, and we are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. And
David Nuño. I'm sorry.
Sorry?
The David.
The Nuño. Or some people say Nuño's. Not my last name, guys. It's time for Bank On It, presented by Vera Bank. Authentic, relationship-based banking built for real life. Go see Joel Jackson and the team. You can learn more at Vera Bank. What can I bank on, OB?
Yeah, I'm really, honestly, we've talked about it earlier. I'm banking on A&M covering the 29.5 points. I mean, I really believe it. I don't think I'm looking at that through maroon sunglasses. I'm thinking that, number one, I'm looking at a defense at Kent State last year that struggled and did not play a team that I think is as powerful or explosive as Texas A&M. And I know that Kent State has offensive ability, but we've been talking all offseason about how good this A&M defense is going to be.
Right.
Well, if it really is, then how many, even a hurry-up passing team like Kent State, how much success should they have? So I'm really banking on A&M winning, by a comfortable margin.
I'm going to bank on Isaiah Spiller and A-Chain, and I'm not even putting Anias Smith on this, but those two guys, all right? Because I still don't know how they're going to use Anias this weekend in the backfield a little bit but I'm going to say A-Chain and Spiller are going to combine to rush for over 300 yards.
I could see that. I also think I also would consider banking on Anias Smith returning a punt for a touchdown. He's been so close so many times. I do think they're going to be punting a lot, and he's been so close so many times. Better athlete. They get a little bit tired just waiting for it to happen.
So
think Wes Welker back in about 2002 or whatever it was.
Can we bank on those three combining in some way, shape, or form for 6 touchdowns?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of banking to be
There's
done.
a lot of banking going on there with Vera Bank. So let's see. Spiller gets 3, A-Chain gets 2, Anias gets 1, maybe Anias gets 2. Yeah, we can see it. And we haven't even spoken about Haynes King throwing for some.
Or running for some. Yeah, we might have to bank on a lot of stuff. I think also that somebody who's never scored a college touchdown will score one.
Who are some of the candidates?
Well, Damon Demas would be a candidate.
Yep. Moose,
Baylor Cup.
Yeah, we need to see something from Baylor. I'm excited to see.
Maybe somebody on defense.
We could see that. We could see who hasn't scored a touchdown, or who has.
Well, 88%, I think it is, of the touchdowns scored last year are back. I think
88%.
it's 80. I think it's 88. I might be off on that, a little bit, but it's in the 80s. So Weidemeyer, Max Wright, Weidemeyer, Chase Lane,
yep.
Anias Smith, A-Chain, Spiller, Caleb Chapman.
I'm excited about seeing Caleb. I really am. That's look. There's a lot of people we want to have our eyes on, but Caleb is one that I really want to focus on a lot. Let's go to the News and Social Center. Tomas Romo. Tomas, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, David? I got a text message here for you. Sudden93 in College Station talking about his game day experience. He says, 1, he likes waking up watching the Sips get beat at 11 o'clock. 2, enjoys sharing a meal with his TexAgs Section 12 buddies. 3, step off in the quad with his senior. And 4, sausage and beer as he watches warm-ups and texts my Section 12 buddies who is not suited up. I'm all for that, and I'm going to talk about it right now. I'm banking on UIL to beat Texas this weekend. There's not a doubt in my mind they're getting beat in Austin.
I love that. Tomasa said, you know what? I'm one of the 3 hosts. I'm getting in here. I'm doing bank on it.
I'm good with it.
He told us he was going to do it. I'm just giving him a hard time.
He just called him UIL, though. You're banking on.
What are you thinking about the schools?
You said UIL.
Yeah, I was a little off on that one.
That's all right.
That's all right.
Got excited.
Olin wasn't going to let that just gloss over. Like, I was going to just like, no big deal. But Olin had to call you out. Hey, and I don't know if I can bank. I just don't know what to expect from Texas, and I don't want to break down Texas. But I think they could be in for a very tough start of the season. Arkansas is a very losable game to them. Obviously, Louisiana Lafayette, a very losable game as well.
I think the key is how good is Louisiana Lafayette's run defense?
Because
Bijan's really good. I mean, really, really good. And if you can just keep him from having a monster game,
right,
then you're going to have a shot.
OB, I'll see you tomorrow. You do the show right before, right?
Right.
So we can catch you on the zone.
I'll be with Robert Sessa and Louis Bellina from 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
And then trying to make my way into the press box over the next hour. Hopefully I'll make it by kickoff.
How long do you think that'll take you? You think
I don't
it's about
know.
30 minutes?
Because last year it took me like 20 minutes, but there was only 25% capacity.
So, yeah.
So I don't know what to expect.
So it could be a disaster.
I hope not. I hope I'm able to
make
make
it by
You may have to
Zoom
kickoff.
that one in future weeks if that's the case. Goodness.
Or I'll get somebody to drive me and just let me off when I get close and then walk the rest of the way.
All right, the great Billy Liucci is going to be joining us for the 9 o'clock hour and the 10 o'clock hour. 2 hours of Billy. Yay, it's football season. OB, thank you very much. The McKinney brothers coming in for the 10 o'clock hour. We will yes, sir?
That's fun. The McKinney brothers.
Yeah, I'm looking
it's one of my favorite parts of the week.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It is TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Hello, St. Joseph Eagles fans. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football throughout the season on KEDC 88.5 FM. St. Joseph Eagles football is brought to you this season by these local businesses: Jason Bainski Realtor, Lone Star Roof Systems, Law Office of Jeff Paradowski, Kraus Paint and Body, Wings and More, Blinn College, and Serve Pro of the Brazos Valley. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football on KEDC 88.5 FM. Special thanks to all of our St. Joseph Eagle football sponsors.
Our publications reach every corner of the Brazos Valley, and we want to partner with you in sharing your message with the community. You may recognize a few of our Bryan Broadcasting publications.
Best of the Brazos Valley.
Brazos Life, the annual manual.
Welcome home, Brazos Valley.
Brazos Family. Brazos Wellness.
Brazos Valley Bride.
Peace, Brazos Christian Life.
With the combined power of 7 magazine titles, 11 radio stations, and digital solutions, Bryan Broadcasting Publications can help you be heard. Call 979-695-9595 to learn more.
Get connected and be in the know with the Zone. Follow us on Twitter at Zone1150. Like us on Facebook, Zone1150. Subscribe to our daily newsletter at thezone1150.com. This is KCNE College Station Bryan.
From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on the Zone. The pandemic death total in Brazos County is now 285. The health district reports 10 more deaths. Brazos County now has the most active cases since February 12th at 1,171. More information is at brazoshealth.org. The newly created position of Chief Operating Officer at Texas A&M is in a fairly exclusive club.
There's less than a dozen other schools that use this model, although it's beginning to be used more often in some places.
Greg Hartman joined the executive team of new President Catherine Banks after leading A&M's Health Science Center, and before that was a hospital administrator in Central Texas.
Other than COVID, my job is just a lot of operational stuff, kind of reorganizing things like human resources, IT, those kind of functional areas so that we're being much more efficient and effective at delivering those services to allow the folks who do academics and research to do the great work that they do.
Hartman was one of 8 new and interim leaders who started when Dr. Banks became president June 1st. A third-party report to College Station police of a man in a white van offering candy to children has led to a social media reminder about stranger danger. Anyone who has witnessed suspicious activity is asked to contact law enforcement. A Bryan man is in the Brazos County Jail being held for police from North Las Vegas on 30 charges of sex crimes against children.
According to Clark County, Nevada online court records, no bond will be set for 39-year-old Curtis Seckman. One of 10 counts of sexual assault of a child under the age of 14 took place in 1997. Court records say the remaining 9 counts took place August 26th of this year, along with 19 counts of lewdness with a child under the age of 14 and 1 attempted sexual assault. The Clark County District Attorney's Office told WTAW News they do not comment on cases involving crimes against children. North Las Vegas Police Department has not responded to our request for more information. Bill Oliver, 1620 94.5 WTAW.
For more news, go to WTAW.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Start your sports day with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Powered by WC Tractor. Weekday mornings 5 to 8 on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Or just tell your smart speaker to play Zone 1150. WC Tractor is your local award-winning Kubota and New Holland dealer. Call them with your questions at 1-888-8-TRACTOR. That's 1-888-8-TRACTOR. Check them out online at WCTractor.com. Rise and shine weekday mornings 5 to 8 with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin from ESPN Radio. Powered by WC Tractor here on The Zone.
Bryan Broadcasting is your home for high school football. Bryan High, A&M Consolidated, Rudder, and College Station High play on the Bryan Broadcasting family of stations. No matter where you are, hear every play, every game, all season long. Thanks to A&B, Blinn College, BCS Toyota, and Ed Phillips Plumbing. To find out when and where to hear your favorite team, go to brazosfootball.com.
Good morning, sports fans. I'm Zach Taylor with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. This Sports Minute is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click HilcoSupply.com. Number 6, Texas A&M football kicks off the season against Kent State tomorrow at Kyle Field. The Golden Flashes only played 4 games all of last year, but Aggie headman Jimbo Fisher says he's seen enough to know they're a formidable foe.
Man, they average almost 50 points a game, 48-something a game. Dynamic on offense. Quarterback is back and very, very good player. I mean, you can see him play. I mean, makes very, very, very good decisions, accurate with the ball. Really athletic guy, too. You think of the pocket guy that throws it that well, and all of a sudden, man, he breaks down and runs, and you say, well, you can't get him on the ground. He's making plays. He's running yards. I mean, just a really good player. I mean, just knowing what to do, be around, very talented arm, very accurate.
Kickoff between the Aggies and Kent State is tomorrow at 7 p.m. at Kyle Field. Game day coverage begins at 4 o'clock right here on The Zone. Number 18, Aggie soccer returns to Ellisville tonight as the ladies welcome Sam Houston State to town. Now, the Maroon and White are 1-2 on the season and fresh off a huge 3-1 victory over number 9 Clemson last week. Things get underway at 7 o'clock. And men's golf kicks off its fall slate on Sunday when it takes part in the Marquette Intercollegiate. And that's been your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Zach Taylor.
You can hear Astros baseball on The Zone, 1150 AM and 93.7 FM, plus Gospel 97.3 FM. Astros baseball on Bryan Broadcasting is brought to you by Kelly Burt Dozer. Listen in as the Astros contend for the AL West title. Listen in as the Astros battle for the best record in the American League. Listen in as the Astros contend for another World Series title. Astros baseball on The Zone and Gospel 97.3 FM is brought to you by Kelly Burt Dozer and in part by First Financial Bank.
TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Doing a bunch of things here on the program to get us ready for the 9 o'clock hour. Billy's going to be with us here in a moment. We've got the McKinney brothers coming in at the 10 o'clock hour. And what we're going to do right now is go to the BCSI hotline. And we are joined by TexAgs co-owner and executive editor, Billy Liucci. Good morning to you, Mr. Liucci.
David Nuño, how are you?
I'm good, man. We were just talking on the phone a minute ago, so it's just going to continue that dialogue. It's
I'm over here. Oh, go ahead.
No. By all means,
continue
please.
The dialogue.
No. I insist. I use the usted form with you. Please go ahead.
I'm I'm just driving down Wellborn in this Texas A&M traffic I forgot about. So here's what happened. At 10 o'clock, the 10 o'clock hour, there's no traffic coming down this long, this is my route. It's the whole way on Wellborn. At 9 o'clock, at least for now, while kids are still going to class, I mean, we know how that's about to go. But for right now, and for probably the first couple weeks before everyone fails their first test and realize that Northgate they're going to sacrifice that for Northgate and the Tap on Monday night and Wednesday night, Piano Bar. Until then, I'm going to be dealing with traffic at 9 o'clock, and I really grossly miscalculated that today.
It's all right, my friend.
David, I'm just trying to get to that little neighborhood where I can cut through the back roads over there by our old house on Old Jersey.
Are you good on gas, or do we need to get a jerry can ready?
I think we're good on gas, Dalton.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a good question. I'm not ridiculing that question. But I'll tell you what, since I've gone Caldwell Country and Zach Hester has me in this Tahoe Premier, you don't run out of gas because, actually, I take that back. You don't run out, but this one is a lot more dicey. It's the Audi screams at you when you get to zero, and the Tahoe, it's a little more old school in the way they let you know that you run out of gas. There's just kind of a gauge, and then it puts a little fuel logo out there, but doesn't tell you that you're under. Some of them go from 40 all the way to zero, and that gives you some real good, because then hey, I can push that past zero another 30 miles, maybe.
Didn't I have to push the Tahoe this summer?
No, that was the Audi. Yeah. So it doesn't, the Tahoe, I'm surprised we haven't had any incidents thus far.
Yeah, my car as well does not tell you until about 20 miles. Hey, it's time to get gas. And I hate it. I wish it would tell me at 40 or 50.
The nightmare, before we talk about Kent State, they're not a nightmare, but they're a little scary. I'm about to tell you why. The nightmare is driving between Fairfield and Buffalo, or Corsicana and Fairfield coming back from Dallas, because I play a little fast and loose in passing up gas stations while I'm on the phone. That's the stretch that if there's something that'll still get me in my old age, that's where the danger zone is.
Hey, so Luch, do you use your phone at a gas station? Because I know I've read that it can blow you up.
Yes, but I will say I'll kind of walk. I'll get back in the car and do it. I don't know if that still risks blowing up, but I mean, if I'm pumping gas, I do it because that pops into my head from time to time. But I've seen alleged videos of people blowing up, but I'm not sure if I quite buy that.
Yeah, I think there would be more signs for it. So you just said, and we're going to make this a short segment so Billy can come in, but you did say a moment ago that you think Kent State can be a little scary. Really?
Yeah, I do, because I think they play into not only some of A&M's weaknesses last year, but also just the first game type of thing. I mean, look, for starters, look at the quarterbacks. You have one that hasn't taken a meaningful snap. You have another one that's I think he's a fifth year, but a senior that's going into his third year as a starter, who's really good. He's an NFL prospect. Not a high round guy, but he's an NFL prospect at quarterback. He's really good. They return, and I think you'll be without a couple of your key players up front on defense, and you're facing an offensive line that returns 6 guys with starting experience and 4 full-time starters over last year, including an all-conference tackle, first-team all-conference tackle. And then they play a style of game that I think can be problematic in terms of they're going to attack through the air, they're going to sling it around, and they're going to test an A&M secondary that, Miles Jones has been banged up through camp. They're actually really thin at corner when you get past the 2 starters in terms of experience there. And, the deep safeties, Damani and Leon, I think, last year, one of the things that was scary was over the top, and some teams got over the top, and some lesser teams. I know Carolina had some really good players, and Howell's great, but they did it without their top two receivers. Tennessee did it early in that game. So they're going to test A&M, and if there's any kind of weaknesses defensively early, I think if these teams play later in the year, it's a complete blowout, and I still think A&M wins comfortably. But I think they'll be tested, and I think this is a game where they better come out ready to play. I think if they came out and played like they did 2 years ago against Texas State, and if they came out and played like they did this past season against Vandy, it'll be a lot more of a challenge than people think.
Billy,
if they come out and just play a really good football game, they'll run them out of there.
Billy, what is Jimbo and Elko and the entire staff's philosophy when it comes to fixing issues from the year prior? Like, sometimes you can't fix personnel because it takes time for guys to develop and whatnot. So when it comes with the same group, how do they fix, or what do they do about fixing some of those deep ball issues that they had last year?
Well, I think you can fix personnel, but A&M's going to start essentially the same secondary that they did last year. So they didn't do that necessarily, but I think you can do it. Like, they could, if a better corner was out there, they would play him. If a better safety was out there, they would play him. But I think the four that are coming back, Antonio Johnson will be an interesting one, and I think he's an X factor. And the other way, David, by the way, is you get these guys that have just played so much football. Damani and I talked about it. He was on Sunday, and he was telling me just the little things like staying low, coming out of his breaks, and keeping his pads low, and not losing that step in the transition. And he's flipping his hips and things like that. Just things that come with experience. That as a younger player, kind of his head's swimming. He knows this Elko system. He knows what offenses do. So you play a couple steps faster. You really do. We always say a step, but I think some of these guys, the more and more they've seen, the more and more they play against, a couple steps faster. I'll be really interested to watch Leon tomorrow, because I do think they're going to go after these guys down the field, and it's like, okay, let's see where the improvement is. Antonio Johnson, to me, though, somebody I'm really excited about at that nickel spot, because a game like this is where he's really, really valuable. And I've said it before, I think he's ready to really break out and be a star on this A&M defense and be one of the better players on the defense. I mean, there's obviously Leal. There's a couple of real studs up front. But Hansford is another guy. I think Antonio Johnson and Aaron Hansford on Saturday, I want to see those two guys make some plays, because I think both of them have the ability to play exceptionally fast and really fly around. Edger and Cooper as well, but I think that'll come more with some experience. But on Saturday, those two guys have played enough, particularly Hansford, but even AJ, where I want to see them flying around and making plays in space when Kent State tries to, complete some short stuff and stay ahead of the chains.
Luch, we've got a lot of stuff planned for the weekend. We'll get into that here in a moment. Also want to kind of continue on with the dialogue of who you have your eyes on as we move closer to game day, some players beyond Antonio Johnson that you are going to be watching closely. But right now, I want to remind everybody to text radio to 900-900 for your chance to win the Big Friday giveaway. And we've been talking about it all week long, but it's the one-size-fits-all run the damn ball in maroon there at Aggieland Outfitters. Valued at $36.98. It's a really nice-looking hat as I get it out of the box here, because I didn't have it ready for you. But I really like it. It's smooth, cool. They got that white. They got the maroon embroidery out there. And it's made of polyester, which gives up to 50-plus on the UPF scale protection. And it's comfortable for hot game days. So it's going to be hot this weekend, guys. Go stop by Aggieland Outfitters as you're coming to town and see their great selection. Put this hat on. It's going to take great care of you. And then you got kids with you, right? They like snacks. Try the Quattro Ranch Jell-O and Cool Whip combined Hello Jell-O Crema. It's looks like almost like a Cheerio, but it's much tastier. And I like Cheerios, by the way, but there's much tastier than that. Go check it out at Aggieland Outfitters. And we're going to announce our Big Friday giveaway winner in the 10 o'clock hour, thanks to our friends at Aggieland Outfitters.
Your home for Texas A&M football is Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone. The Zone.
The wait is over. This Friday, Brian Broadcasting and the Nikki Peterson Talent Network present Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli.
So you guys, yes, I am a member of the Mommy Mafia. I have 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old and a good one.
Don't miss Hollywood's favorite clean comedian, Carrie Pomeroli, live in College Station this Friday, 7 p.m. at Skybreak Church. Bring your friends, bring a date, bring anyone who's ready for a good time.
You guys, who's happy just to be out of the house? Really? Right.
Save money and purchase your discount tickets online now at BrianBroadcasting.com. Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli this Friday. Presented by Nikki Peterson Talent Network. Be discovered. Thanks in part to our sponsors: Strata Auto Repair, Mark's, Manny's Appliance Repair and Cleaning Service, Dirt Road Rustics Furniture and Home Decor, Buff City Soaps, Soap Makery, and Longway Home Adoptables. Tickets, VIP, and group packages on sale now at BrianBroadcasting.com.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses and automatically adjusts to keep you both effortlessly comfortable. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our Labor Day weekend special where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the new Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery. Ends Labor Day.
The Bellucci Hour is back. It is back at the tap every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. thanks to King Ranch Saddle Shop. Join Billy Liucci of TexAgs, TexAgs.com, TexAgs Radio, and the Liucci Cast, along with Zach Taylor, the Infomaniac, and Sports Director of Brian Broadcasting. Monday, Thursday, 6 p.m. It's the Bellucci Hour, happy hour, and it's all thanks to King Ranch Saddle Shop. Let the Bellucci Hour get you ready for Aggie football 2021.
This is ESPN Radio. Joey Votto got that 2,000 hit tonight.
The more I play here, the more I realize how lucky I am.
Victor Cruz, Super Bowl champ.
I just wanted to feel special this morning, guys.
Charlotte Flair, the 13-time WWE champion.
Hey, guys. Alan Faneca, Hall of Fame class of 2021.
I've been waiting, let's do it.
Super Bowl champion Donald Driver.
I love the game. I watch the game more now than I did when I actually played.
Drew Bledsoe, Super Bowl champion.
Keyshawn, if I ever stopped yelling at you, then you would think I didn't care.
Terrence Bud Crawford, the WBO welterweight champion.
I just know in my heart that I can beat him.
Cowboys legend and now Hall of Fame wide receiver Drew Pearson.
But now that I'm in Canton, I don't even think I used the airplane to get here.
Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers quarterback.
A lot of fun last year, but a lot more room to grow.
Lane Kiffin joins us, Ole Miss head coach.
A big part of my motivation was he, because he sent me pictures when I'm on TV of how fat I am.
ESPN Radio, weeknights and weekends on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
Welcome back, TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. We got Billy Liucci here in studio now. So you don't get to do a lot of the YouTube, but we're going to have you on for the YouTube show here for another 15 minutes or so.
Ooh.
As
with the bad music.
It's so bad.
I love here's the deal. And by the way, I'm drinking out of my green print Yeti.
I like
it's like
green print.
a double sponsor deal. It's Yeti and green print. There's the logo, and I like this white.
I gotta get one of those.
Logan, man, I'm gonna tell you what. Between Logan and Gabe, I don't ever want to know how many freebies they skim. Like I'm paying over here for Aggieland Green. I bet Gabe hadn't paid for that for 15 years. He would never say. No one is a big, deep, dark secret. But yeah, no, it's I love that cup. You ought to get one. And the white is good, although I'm sure I'll coffee stain it at some point with a big spill. Yeah. Hopefully not on air.
You strike me as somebody like myself that if you have a Yeti.
Here's Zane. Look, Billy sat 6 inches away from where we wanted. We've got to come in and disrupt the show because of it.
Am I right?
Zane, if you were sitting here with this coffee, I'd Mugato you right now.
Am I right that if you put coffee in a coffee cup and a Yeti, you're not going to ever use that Yeti for water? It is going to be solely coffee. You're not going to mix the two.
Well, I mean, this is a coffee. A psychopath would drink water out of this?
But some people do it.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
This would be a psychotic move. Like, what are you drinking? Oh, I'm drinking a water.
Hey, you talked about the traffic. So I don't know what to expect tomorrow as I go to the game. What time, because we live in the same area, would you suggest? Because I want to come by the tailgate, obviously, and hang out with the listeners, the fans, and the sponsors, and everybody who comes by. What time should I leave? Is it going to take me like 45 minutes? Are you going to show me some back roads?
You get as soon as you can get off Wellborn and get into the back channels, you're fine. But just look for kids flying footballs, college students just walking in the street like there are no cars there, because you will run somebody over if you're in a hurry. So just be cognizant of that, and you'll be fine. And I'd say
30 minutes.
Look. The one thing about some people here, they panic. Olin likes to get to the airport 3 hours before his flight.
Yep.
That is a very insane asylum type move. That's like Shutter Island type stuff. I don't do that. Gabe does that. Olin does. There's a lot of panic that goes on. Gabe would claim he would wake up to show prep at 3:30 in the morning. I will never believe that, and if he did, it's completely unnecessary. You guys you have a couple guests set up, the topics write themselves. What time do you wake up? 5:30, 6?
5:10.
Okay.
But I also wake up there to take the
kids
twins to track at 6:30 in the morning.
I think it's very normal.
Yeah.
I've stamped my seal of
You
approval on it. I mean,
good.
Obviously that's what everyone needs, but
Gabe would wake up like at 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's just not right, and it's crazy. So my thing, taking away my last secondness, I would say 25 minutes. You're plenty.
Okay.
Takes 12 to get here normally. Double that up.
Okay, I can deal with 25.
Mm-hmm.
A little sports radio on the way in. Sure, why not? Hey, we got a lot of stuff planned. So earlier in the week, we launched our college football show, up to the second college football.
Mm-hmm.
People very upset about Anwar making an appearance. He was great, by the way.
Listen.
It's not an A&M show.
Can I tell you something? Friend to friend.
You do this a lot with me.
Yeah,
by the
and
way.
I'm going to tell you on air. Quit worrying about what people on these message boards say, because 90% of them get it and appreciate 95%, and there's 5% that don't sit there and understand that David Nuño left a great job in Houston to come here and be a part of this company and be a part of these subscribers and be a part of their everyday and do this show. And for the 5% that can't just shut their asses up, just stop worrying. And I mean you, I mean Gabe, I mean Steve, Seth, me, Dalton. Like, there's going to be a group that complains about everything. It's why I joke about the music, because I can tell it's getting to you, because you have no control over it, and you've got to do it, or we don't get the YouTube.
Yeah.
But it is terrible music,
It is.
and you're losing that battle, and I'm going to join in with them on that for fun. But really, though, like, Anwar and Ketchum caught all kinds of crap for putting me on, and then their subscribers really enjoyed it. And Texas is coming into the SEC. We're going to cover what's going on at Texas more, and it's just like not in a way where we're always going to be talking about them, but we're going to cover Texas and OU like we do
LSU.
Alabama and LSU and Auburn when any of those teams, when they're relevant and when they're good, and then obviously when A&M plays them. And when you guys are having guests on SEC shows, we're going to have guys from all over, and people don't need to be sensitive that we're getting a Longhorn slant, and that's going to happen. As the year goes on, it's going to happen in recruiting. I think those recruiting battles are going to be more and more head-to-head, although right now Texas is claiming a lot of wins. They're claiming a lot of wins on guys that didn't have spots in the A&M class, and their fans haven't caught on to that yet, that, hey, a lot of these SEC offers are offers, and these visits happen, and then these guys don't have spots to go to at places like Georgia, LSU, Alabama, A&M that are recruiting at the truly elite levels, particularly in the trenches. So, but anyway, we're not worrying about
No.
And they can complain and they can vent, but I just ask people, just have a little damn grace sometimes, and try to like take out your frustration from doing this and going to right here And between here and here, just think, man, this is a new show. We're working. We've got some great new ideas. And if 90% of what we do hits the mark with most people, and then 10% doesn't,
we're good with that.
We'll keep working on it.
Sure.
We want to get to 100, but we're trying new stuff, and not everything's the layup that an NIL where I get to sit down with Isaiah Spiller and Damani Richardson and Kenyon Green. I mean, that's the easy stuff. It's when we're trying new things, and people are going to get a little bent, but. And here's where you're really going to have to deal with it. When things aren't going perfectly, they're going to try to get you to say exactly what they want you to say. And I don't ever want you, me, Steve, Seth, Ty, McGee, anybody to fall into that. And I hope that people understand that.
I also know when you have an issue with something.
I like to get my hat straight.
You'll tell me, hey, are you, and there's some other stuff I want to get into, but are you surprised Richard Justice, who's a friend of mine, been friends for a long time. We did radio together.
He's been very good to me over the years.
He's a great guy. He has not been complimentary of A&M in years past, but that's kind of his shtick also. He's a columnist. He finds an angle, has fun, pokes the bear. He's been very complimentary of A&M the last couple columns he's done for Texas Monthly.
Yeah, it feels like a setup.
Yeah, it does.
But I think he's in a perfect spot right here. Look, put yourself in Justice's shoes. He's a Longhorn, but he goes down the middle. He'll go after Texas when they're bad. He'll compliment them when they're good, and he's doing the same with A&M. But he knows right now, and he, by the way, great, terrific, probably Hall of Fame baseball columnist.
Absolutely, yeah.
But down the middle here, he's got a nice lane because if A&M does really well, he can needle Texas until they rise up to the level, and if they don't, they're never going to hear the end of it. Plus, he can, compliment an in-state school that's turned into a power. And if they don't, then he's set them up to just veer right off that road,
right.
and the crash will be epic. And he knows that Aggie fans will turn on him as soon as he turns on them, and it'll be a bloodbath. And that's good for a journalist. So.
And he's one who doesn't read the comments. He just puts the stuff out there and moves on.
He's in a good sweet spot right now in terms of what he's doing with covering A&M.
Yeah, and by the way,
we'd rather have it. Look, you guys don't like this guy or that guy or the other guy. It's good for A&M to be in that spot. When Stuart Mandel, I mean, it's just very personal, obviously. It's very my problem. I've said it before. I don't like when I feel like there's a personal, and I don't know. It's like personal. I don't like Jimbo Fisher. He was mean to me one time. Right. I don't think it's that. I just think
he likes the reaction from the fan base.
But I didn't like the move, and I didn't like the SEC move back then. But of course, now we're celebrating Texas going, and we're at the Athletic. We're propping up Steve Sarkisian because he's a resource, and his staff talks, and these type things I don't like. Like, Ed O had a horrifically bad year last year, and he should have been buried by the national media.
Wasn't.
And if you weren't, then you're tied into Ed O to where you don't want to bury him. That's what happens in this industry.
100.
And everyone thinks it's just TexAgs, A&M. Orange Bloods are inside Texas, Longhorns. Sooner Scoop, OU. They're Bama Online, Nick Saban. They don't want to cross in. They think that the fan sites are the only ones that do this. It goes on everywhere.
Yep.
So I don't know what Jimbo Fisher did, but as far as those comments, I'd rather have guys commenting on things like, wow, how ridiculous is it for A&M to pay a coach $9 million a year that, and I use air quotes here, quote, hasn't won anything. Never mind the national title and the playoff berth. Never mind the Orange Bowl in year 3 here, and the fact that in year 2 he had one senior starter out of 22, and they just leave all these things out. Oh, only won it with Jameis, but let's prop up Ed O, who's been really damn crappy every year. He hadn't had Joe Burrow, but let's not factor that in. The moving goalposts. I expect that from Longhorn Twitter troll fans. I don't expect that from national media, but maybe I should.
It bugs me. So 2 days ago, whenever Stuart was doing this thing, it took everything of me not to join in with you because I feel like we don't need me involved, but I really want to, it was one of those, I'm ready to fight now. Let's go. Twitter fight.
I think you and me can do that, but I don't want, I've talked to Dalton and Zane and, it was Gabe or Olin, whoever. I've had to do it, I think, with Stu Wade. Maybe that's why he ran off. He ran off and left us. But, I think maybe you even had to tell Brandon or Brawny and them. I don't want every time someone says something negative about Texas A&M for the entire TexAgs, not fan base, but the office, to just go after someone on Twitter.
Josh,
national media guys. It's like, God, these psychopaths. So let me be the psychopath.
Yeah, you be the psychopath. I just know that my instinct is to respond to stupidity.
As the radio host, I do think there's some battles to be fought.
Sure. Yeah,
so.
But then
put the gloves on. Let's go.
But I feel like if you've already started it, it's almost me piling on.
True.
So
you gotta start some.
And some of these guys I don't know them, right? So because you went back and forth with him a little bit, he seemed to play I think he likes.
I like Stu.
Yeah,
I like Stu. I don't like his takes on A&M at all, and I'm going to defend A&M. But person to person, I like Stu. And Bruce Feldman's one of my, I think, really close friend for a really long time. But we're not always going to agree.
And Maisel as well had some comments, which I was surprised by. But so hey,
Ivan clearly is not a Jimbo fan, and it's crazy to me. It's just I do think there's some level that he doesn't play everyone's game. Well, he works and he recruits and he goes and spends time with his family and fishes. I'd rather have that than a coach that goes out and parties and carouses around town and you can't try. He goes to the Bright Complex, he works, he recruits, he goes home to his family, and he goes fishing and goes to cattle auctions. So that's an Aggie coach right there.
One of the things you told me that you like about my role this year is that it's new to me, right?
Yeah.
All the thing, and you want me to express that because it is brand new to me. I haven't been here. Yeah, I've covered A&M from afar, but being here is different. And I was just asked last night at the park, what do I think of Jimbo? And I go, he is more classy than I expected, very polite, smiles when he talks to us, is willing to answer questions. I'm not used to that from the NFL world. I'm just not. Yeah. And to me, I can't see a bad opinion of him. And I'm around it. Usually the local media are the ones who really know.
Yeah.
People around Coach K really know how Coach K is around local media. Jimbo has been phenomenal, and not just to me, to everyone he deals with. Yeah. So I don't understand how you can have a negative opinion.
And we're 3 years into this, and in one of those years, he lost 5 games.
Yeah.
He lost 4 the first year. Again, we know the reasons why and the second-year schedule and stuff, but I'm saying it hasn't been just a joyride since he's been here where there's never been, a loss to come talk about or blown lead at Auburn to come talk about. And he's never come in there pissed off at the media for doing their job. He's never come in there like he doesn't want to be there. And we're 4 years almost in to him being here, right? I know we are more than 4. For December would have been 4 years since he's been here. So, I think locally we know who Jimbo Fisher is.
All right, we got a lot of football to get into. Also want to talk about Luchador coming up and also our post-game show. So we'll do our post-game wrap. But right now I want to talk about my good friend, and Billy knows him, Chance McClain. He captures your stories. He captures your memories with yourheritagefilm.com. It's just amazing what he does out there. He makes high-quality documentaries. I'm talking HBO, Netflix, A&E style for your friend, your mother, your father, your grandfather. He's telling your story, and he's putting it on. They don't put it on tape, but you understand what I'm saying. And he's amazing at it. Do you want your grandkids to know about your story, the things that your parents went through? How about if you are a grandfather, right? And you want to capture these stories. And don't think of it like when I brought up to my father that I was going to have Chance go check him out, he's like, we don't need to make a movie about me. What are you talking? Yes, we do. It's a gift for your family. It is a gift for everyone in there. He does a great job telling these stories, and he's not advertising in a lot of places. Michael Berry in Houston and TexAgs Radio here, and it's because of our audience, the kind of people we really love history and our history, right? Our culture, and he's doing it, and he's a slave to the process, 8 to 10 weeks to do it. He gets it done right. His clients are his friends. Check out yourheritagefilm.com, 713-893-8341, yourheritagefilm.com, 713-893-8341.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on The Zone. BCS Habitat for Humanity announces its Financial Literacy Workshop Series Thursday evenings this month. Find a schedule of topics and more information at habitatbcs.org. The 38th Annual National Night Out is Tuesday, October 5th. Neighbors are asked to turn on their French port lights and spend the evening outside with neighbors and law enforcement. Contact your local police station to host a block party. The Sexual Assault Resource Center invites you to their primary fundraising event, the Evening Under the Stars Gala, Saturday, October 8th at Brownstone Reserve. Purchase tickets online at sarcbv.org. For more information about becoming a master gardener, visit brazosmg.com. 30 minutes after the clock hits 0 at Kyle Field on Saturday, join Dusty and Louie for the Zone Call-In Show, powered by TexAgs. Call in at 979-693-1150 with your questions, comments, or opinions after every A&M home game. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Question: would you pick a chain barbecue place over a hometown joint? Do you root for East Coast universities instead of the local team? Nah, then why choose a big Wall Street bank? A&B started in 1892. 5 generations later, we're still owned and operated by the same Texas family. We support this community. We value your privacy. We make quick decisions, and we hate red tape. We answer to you, not Wall Street. Bank with A&B. Family owned, Texas proud. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The wait is over. This Friday, Brian Broadcasting and the Nikki Peterson Talent Network present Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli.
So you guys, yes, I am a member of the Mommy Mafia. I have 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old and a good one.
Don't miss Hollywood's favorite clean comedian, Carrie Pomeroli, live in College Station this Friday, 7 p.m. at Skybreak Church. Bring your friends, bring a date, bring anyone who's ready for a good time.
You guys, who's happy just to be out of the house? Really? Right.
Save money and purchase your discount tickets online now at brianbroadcasting.com. Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli this Friday. Presented by Nikki Peterson Talent Network. Be discovered. Thanks in part to our sponsors: Strata Auto Repair, Mark's, Manny's Appliance Repair and Cleaning Service, Dirt Road Rustics Furniture and Home Decor, Buff City Soap, Soap Makery, and Longway Home Adoptables. Tickets, VIP, and group packages on sale now at brianbroadcasting.com.
Hello, St. Joseph Eagles fans. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football throughout the season on KEDC 88.5 FM. St. Joseph Eagles football is brought to you this season by these local businesses: Jason Bainski Realtor, Lone Star Roof Systems, Law Office of Jeff Paradowski, Kraus Paint and Body, Wings and More, Blinn College, and Serve Pro of the Brazos Valley. Listen to St. Joseph Eagles football on KEDC 88.5 FM. Special thanks to all of our St. Joseph Eagle football sponsors.
TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the